हेलो एवरीवन। तो आज हम लोग इंग्लिश का मॉक टेस्ट दे रहे हैं। बेसिकली ये फुल मॉक टेस्ट है बट मैं सिर्फ इंग्लिश का ही रिकॉर्ड कर पा रही हूँ, तो करते हैं। सो अ पैरानॉइड पर्सन इज इमोशनलेस एंड विथड्रॉल फ्रॉम सोसाइटी, ये मैंने किया है। देन इट वाज अ रिलीफ टू मिस्टर जॉनसन व्हेन द आंट बसल्ड इनटू द रूम विद अ वर्ल्ड ऑफ अपॉलॉजीज। Next, Lucy need to stop concentrating on the minor detail and focus on the larger picture of her project to be successful. After all, it's not profitable to focus excessively on insignificant things at the expense of important ones. Don't make a mountain out of the molehill. इन सब में से यही समझ में आ रहा है मुझे. You can choose either the red car nor the blue car. Either के साथ और आएगा तो ये क्या है इसमें करेक्टली स्पेल्ड वर्ड सेंटेंस. माइक्रोसॉफ्ट अनाउंस्ड प्लान्स टू मेक बिड्स टू अक्वायर, ये गलत है. द जॉब ऑफ द आर्टिस्ट इज टू मेक द रेवोल्यूशन परसेप्टिबल एक्सेप्ट दैट इट विल बी रूटेड इन ऑकवर्ड, गलत है. और शी यूज द 14th अमेंडमेंट टू अचीव इक्वलिटी, सही है. I don't know if such thoughts have ever dashed to Liz Truss, who is still at the time of writing Britain's Prime Minister. I don't know if such thoughts have ever occurred, maybe. My friend does not speak unless he feels the necessity. As he feels, so he feels, when he feels, unless he feels. ठीक लग रहा है मुझे तो. The children laughed at the comedian. I have to press it. Comedian is laughed at by the children. Comedian was laughed. नहीं. Comedian was laughed. अच्छा इसमें is है. Was laughed at by the children. You will never believe me unless you see it for yourself. You seen it for yourself. ये गलत लग रहा है. You seen it for yourself. The ceremony was held in the dash halls of the historic palace, adding to the sense of the grandeur and importance. Ceremony was held in the austere, august, arid, awkward नहीं होगा, arid नहीं होगा, august या austere. There is a dash film. There is an interested, identical, ideally interesting film. There is an interesting film. RBI ropes in Punjabi rapper virus for awareness campaign on cyber fraud. Detain, dissuade, persuade, passes. Wife, I'm really thrilled about our trip to South India. I have heard it has some wonderful beaches. I don't know dash standing before the vast sea has been, yes, it's a wonderful experience to see the vast waves rising and striking the bench. I don't know how I shall feel standing before the vast sea. What to do standing before the vast sea? Select the wrongly spelled word. Molestation, condonation, navigation, wrongly spelled चाहिए ना? Yeah. Were the classes of Professor Das being enjoyed by the students? Active में करना है. The classes of नहीं. Were the students enjoying the classes of Professor Das? Are the classes of Professor Das being enjoyed by the students? Was the class of Professor being enjoyed by the students? He नहीं, एक सेकेंड. ठीक है. He wore a bizarre outfit for the party. क्या चीज़ का synonym? Normal, usual, weird. I will not miss a committee meeting since 1986, so I don't want to miss the one today. I will not miss. I haven't missed a committee meeting. David went ahead into challenging the warrior, even when there was hardly anyone with him. क्या इसमें चाहिए? Grammatically word. अच्छा. David went grammatically. अच्छा, इसमें से एक वर्ड हटाना है. डेविड वेंट अहेड इनटू चैलेंजिंग द वॉरियर when there was hardly anyone with him. Um, today. You must refrain dash unpleasant conversations. You must uh, refrain to refrain from unpleasant conversations. पता नहीं, इसमें confusion है. The father requested his daughter to let him help her in her business. To the father said to his daughter, please let me help her in the business. Please, I request you to help you in your business. Please let me help you in your business. I request to help. पहले क्वेश्चंस देख लेते हैं, सो दैट पता चले कहाँ ज़्यादा फोकस करना है. विच इज द फॉलोइंग क्लोजेस्ट एंटोनियम ऑफ द वर्ड प्रिकेरियस इन द फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ. उसके बाद it can be reasonably inferred from the passage the author views the feminization for the agricultural workforce as. उसके बाद why do poverty alleviation program often bypass the most marginalized strata in rural areas. So the following best describe author tone पूछी है, and then best encapsulate the primary focus of the passage. Okay. The agrarian landscape of rural India is currently undergoing a profound and polycentric metamorphosis, inextricably moving away from the romanticized archetype of self-sufficient subsistence farming. This transition is characterized by a precarious bifurcation. On one hand, a rapid commercialization of agriculture driven by the capital-intensive technological inputs, and on the other hand, an entrenched agrarian crisis marked by dwindling land holdings, severe ecological degradation, and mounting debt burdens. The traditional symbiotic relationship between the cultivator and the land has been irrevocably altered by erratic monsoonal patterns, a direct manifestation of global anthropogenic climate change, which severely exacerbates the vulnerability of rain-fed agriculture. Moreover, the relentless push for high-yield, water-intensive cash crops has accelerated subterranean aquifer depletion, rendering traditional farming increasingly unviable. Consequently, the rural economy is now largely defined not by agricultural surplus but by occupational diversification and distress migration. As agriculture becomes economical untenable for marginal landholders, rural households are forced to adopt complex livelihood strategies. The infusion of non-farm income largely generated through circulatory labor migration to urban metropolises has become the critical economic lifeline sustaining rural consumption. These remittances, while mitigating absolute destitution, have concurrently participated a demographic vacuum in villages, often leaving agriculture in the hands of elderly and feminizing the agricultural workforce. The feminization, however, has rarely translated into equitable land ownership or enhanced decision-making parity for women, serving instead of highlight the deeply entrenched patriarchal asymmetries within the rural socio-economic fabric. Furthermore, state interventions while एक सेकेंड पहले क्वेश्चन कर लेते हैं कुछ. Author nostalgic, profound, analytical, critical, mildly perceptive, indifferent, objective, dogmatic, cynical. अभी तक तो मुझे यही लग रहा है. Precarious, hazardous, secure, ambiguous, ephemeral. State-sponsored initiative designed to dismantle archaic rural patriarchal system, progressive shift that has resulted in significant economic parity and land ownership parity, a circumstantial byproduct of